Welcome back to the Averett Sports Network. My name is Luis Martinez, and today we have the matchup between your very own Averett women's soccer team and the visiting Randolph-Macon Yellow Jackets. As we bring out both teams to center field to begin the starting lineups and the national anthem, I will begin by listing off the starters for the visiting Yellow Jackets. In goal for the Yellow Jackets, 00 Zoe Long, number 8 Kelly Rogers, number 10 Riley Russ, number 11, Alexa Storr. Number 12, Abigail Pursuit. Number 15, Lillian Holt. Number 19, Grace Turney. Number 21, Laura Bertram. Number 23, Lauren Brokaw. Number 26, Maddie Stubblefield. And number 33, Sammy Hafes. And for your home Cougars, in goal, number 00, Tiffany Hargett. Number 3, Haley Uhas. Number 4, Clarice Peters. Number 5, Candace Johnson. Number 9, Isabel Sem. Number 11, Taylor Parks. Number 13, Isabel Evans. Number 14, Celia De Diego. Number 16, Leah Brethren. Number 26, Rayleigh Smith. And number 29, Erica Lindstrom. As the visiting Yellow Jackets are coming off of a 10-0 win against Hollins just yesterday, bringing the record to 4-1-3. Hoping to add another win today. As the Cougars are coming off of a loss a couple days ago to Bob Jones away, 1-4. As we will be back in just a short moment after the national anthem. And we are about to get underway here as the Yellow Jackets will get the opening kickoff. A couple players to look out for the opposing Yellow Jackets. Brokaw, number 23, playing 8 games, 6 goals, 3 assists. Not far behind her. Also with 6 goals is Ali Spangler, number 18, not currently on the pitch. As the opening kickoff goes into Cougar territory, brought down there in the midfield by the Yellow Jackets. Going wide, slide tackle there by Diego. A little slow to get up as the ball will go out of bounds. That tackle there was on number 8 for the Yellow Jackets, Kelly Rogers. Ball goes out of bounds. We have throw-in for Randolph-Macon. Ball comes into number 21, Bertram, taken away there by Smith. Now comes to Evans. Evans gets it taken away there by Holt. Kicked out of bounds. It'll be another throw-in, this time in favor for the Cougars. Parks throw into Evans. Evans bringing it down, kicking it away from pressure, bringing it right back down to her feet. Trying to send it upfield, doesn't connect with anybody. Now comes to Stubblefield. Now into the back as the Yellow Jackets now try to hold on. Playing cheekily there with Hafes. Now in midfield with number 11, Storr. Now ball with Rogers, number 8, on the wing as she sends it into midfield. Over to Bertram. Bertram sending a long ball there to number 23, Brokaw, against Smith. And Brokaw will let it roll out of bounds and throw it in very quickly there. Sending it into the box. As the first goal is scored there by the Yellow Jackets. First blood drawn with nearly 3 minutes taken off the clock. Goal scored there by number 10, Riley Russ, giving the Yellow Jackets an early lead here in the first half. As Lindstrom now pass it back to Peters, over to Johnson. And Johnson looking upfield, gets it deflected, and now with the Yellow Jackets going back the other way. That is Storr finding Rogers in the back. Getting over to number 26, Stubblefield. Now Stubblefield switching the plane. Wide touch there from number 15, Holt. Ball will go out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in. Johnson will send it out. Ball kicked upfield. Brought down, or intended to be brought down there, by number 21, Bertram. Thrown for the Yellow Jackets. Be number 19 on the throw. That'll be Turney. As Turney gets pressured quickly there by Clarice Peters, it'll kicked out of bounds. Ball inside the box, a very dangerous area. Smith kicks it away, finds Diego. Diego trying to get a bit of time and room. Couldn't quite do much there with number 26, Stubblefield, on her back. Diego's long throw. Hit away there by Turney. And Johnson will throw it back into the Cougars to play on. As the ball now comes to Sim, and Sim will get it taken away there by Turney. Brokaw gives it away to Peters, and Peters trying to send a long ball there to Brethren. Couldn't quite connect on that long ball. Rogers now gets the ball there by number 12, Pursuit. As Pursuit now scans the field, finding her an open player in Holt. And Holt, heavy pressure there by Evans, and Evans trying to get it over to Brethren. Bit of too much power behind that kick. It'll go out of bounds as the Yellow Jackets now throw it in. Bit of a collision as Johnson retrieves the ball, and it'll be kicked out of bounds there by Turney. Johnson throw in to Peters. Peters getting pressured quickly as Brokaw forces a ball out. Parks trying to intercept that ball, finds space in the midfield. Now Lindstrom trying to get rid of it. As the ball gets ping-ponged around between teams, Evans comes down with it, gets it off to Parks, and Parks with a bit of time and room sends a beautiful ball into Brethren. Brethren cutting back, singing it across field, looking for Sim, finds Sim, connects, getting it back to Brethren. Brethren trying to get away from number 26, Stubblefield, and Stubblefield tracking her down very calmly, sending the ball across. And now the Yellow Jackets are on a fast break. Number 11, Storr, leading the way. Now Storr will get the ball back from number 21, Brethren, sending it across the box. And Hargett, 0-0 in net for the Cougars, will take care of that one calmly. Take her time before eventually booting it away. Sending it upfield, and Rogers will let it roll out of bounds. Be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. Evans getting away from Storr, trying to send it across field, gets intercepted. Lindstrom bringing it down. And over to Smith, now back to Hargett, and Hargett having no pressure at all. Scans the field, looks for an open player, sending it up to Brethren. And Brethren trying to connect with A. Diego, and A. Diego against Stubblefield. And Stubblefield will win that matchup, but it will be kicked right back to Sim in possession of the Cougars, as Sim will try to connect with A. Diego. Now Brethren kicking it up, looking for Uhas, and A. Diego is on her way to try to collect that ball again. And Turney, number 19, will just kick it away, not trying to take any chances against De Diego. As the throw-in will go in, be booted away. It'll come to Brokaw. Now Bertram sending a wide ball across field. Smith will come out to retrieve it. That is Storr against Smith. Lindstrom. Smith doing all she can to try to maintain possession of that ball, as the Yellow Jackets will hold on. There to Hafes. Now Hafes sending it across, looking for number 10, Russ. And Johnson will boot it away, not giving Russ any chance of adding another one to the score for Randolph-Macon. Now Stubblefield sends it across to Rogers. Finding an open player in the midfield, that'll be Bertram. With a lot of time, a lot of room, that shot way outside of the box, just slightly wide. Taken there by Storr. Harger taking a sigh of relief. Hargett pushing her back line up a bit, trying to get as many people upfield as possible. Johnson will get this ball, and she will take a wild touch and it'll go out of bounds. As now that is Russ, number 10, taking it all by herself. Wild shot way outside of the box at about the 20-yard line. Taken there by number 33, Haves. A lot of confidence there behind number 33. Taking a shot from way down field. Looking for that top right corner. Goes just out of bounds as Hargett kicks it away for a goal kick. Finding Uhas. De Diego. Trying to look for Evans, but it gets headed away there by Holt. Now De Diego against Stubblefield. As now that was Turney trying to shield Brethren. Now Zoe Long in goal for the Yellow Jackets will pick this one up in her own box and hold on to it as long as she can. And she will boot this one away. Upfield to Brokaw. Now Smith lets this one go. A one-on-one situation. And the Yellow Jackets take up a 2-0 lead. Bertram, number 21, giving the Yellow Jackets a 2-0 lead in this matchup early on in this first half, as the Cougars have not had a good start so far. De Diego kicking us off again for the second time in this half. Uhas trying to find Brethren. And Brethren gets shielded there by Turney. Now Long, sending a long ball upfield. Lindstrom getting her head behind that one as the Yellow Jackets retrieve it. Ball left there for Holt. Now Bertram. Brokaw leaving it off for Russ. Cutting back inside. Sending a ball into number 15, Holt. Shot there by Haves. Hargett will kick this one a little long to Sim. It'll roll past Sim, and that'll come to Haves. Johnson trying to get around number 33. Can't quite find an opening. It'll go out of bounds. Turney will throw it in quickly. There to Brokaw. Now De Diego finding the ball at about the 40. Turns, finds Uhas. Uhas, heavy pressure behind her. Back to Sim. Now Sim finding Evans. Evans cutting back inside, leaving the ball off to De Diego. It is quite a scene here as it's 4 against 6 in favor of the Yellow Jackets. They hold on strong as Lindstrom will now try to control the ball in midfield. Heavy pressure there by Brokaw, number 23. As the ball will go out of bounds. That'll be another throw-in for the Cougars. And Johnson will throw this one in, getting us back underway Sending it upfield to Sim. Now Sim will try to chase after it with a bit of time, bit of room. Trying to find a Diego. Gets right behind a Diego. Couldn't quite connect, and Long will hold on to this ball as long as she can. No pun intended. Sending the ball upfield. Brought down by the Yellow Jackets. Russ gets pushed from behind by Sim. She will draw a foul at midfield. Now Pursuit Turney or Hafes will send this one out, and it looks like it's Pursuit. As she hits a driven ball there, looking for Russ. Johnson boots it away. Hafes, Russ. Back there to Pursuit. As she will take some space. Back there to Brokaw. Now Turney sending it wide there for number 8, Rogers. Pursuit. Russ, number 10. Turney. Trying to look for Brokaw. Gets intercepted by Peters, and Uhas will do her best to contain this ball and keep it in possession. But it will go out of bounds off of heavy pressure there by Hafes. Turney thrown into Pursuit. As Pursuit will scan, take her time. Brethren looking on, not letting her do much of anything. As Stubblefield now will take some space. Ball here intended for number 21, Bertram. As Bertram holds on strong, gets it back to Stubblefield, and Stubblefield will now try to look for Brokaw. As a bit of miscommunication between teammates as Lindstrom takes advantage. Now Holt send it back to Pursuit. Pursuit into Brokaw. Now Holt holding on to the ball as long as she can. Gets taken away by Sim. Evans. Into De Diego turning. Trying to look for Brethren, and Brethren gets shielded there by Turney. As Long will come out to the edge of the box and pick it up. Now Long's ball will go to the head of Lindstrom, and Johnson will go out to retrieve it. Johnson finding Sim, and Sim taking a lot of space, a lot of time, trying to send a through ball into De Diego, and Stubblefield recovers, but Sim gets it back, and now De Diego looking for an open person in the box. And she did not have much help inside her own box. As it'll be a goal kick, first of many chances here for the Cougars. It's a very hard deficit to come up against 2-0, especially in the first half. Goal coming from Riley Russ. And another coming from Bertram for the Yellow Jackets. As Brokaw now with heavy pressure there by Peters. Sending it across there to Rogers. Rogers coming out to retrieve it. Now Rogers sending a long ball in to number 21, Bertram. Bertram, heavy pressure there by Smith. And Smith will win this matchup. It will go out of bounds. And it will be a corner kick for the Yellow Jackets. And the ball will go out of bounds off the corner kick. It'll be a goal kick. Hargett passes it quickly over to Peters. Peters, not a lot of pressure in front of her. We'll just leave it off to Uhas. Uhas trying to find an opening. Trying to send a ball into Evans, and no one will be within 15 yards of that ball. Long will come out and play it quickly. There's Stubblefield. The Stubblefield sending one wide, intended for Brokaw. Peters intercepts that pass. Now Brethren on a foot race against Turney. And Turney just getting her foot in just in time, stopping the initial motion of Brethren. Brethren send one into Sim, and Sim fighting against Russ, number 10. Johnson will throw this one back into play for the Cougars. Into De Diego. De Diego, bicycle kick. Not enough power behind that. What a goal that would have been if she would have connected with that properly. Bit of some flashes there by De Diego as Long kicks it upfield into Cougar territory. And the ball will come now to Bertram. As Bertram throws it in quickly there, intended for Holt. De Diego retrieving that one to Evans. Now Uhas. Uhas finding Brethren, and Brethren couldn't quite control that pass there from Uhas. It'll go out of bounds. As Grace Turney will throw it back in to Pursuit, her center back. She has a lot of time, a lot of room. Now cross there to Stubblefield. Stubblefield now getting pressured by De Diego. Send it in quickly. There to number 11, Storr. Now Holt for Rogers. Rogers playing one into Brokaw. Brokaw cutting inside on Peters. Sending one in. And Hargett with a good save there. Getting low quick enough to not allow any type of ball to go right under her. And Hargett will take her time. Look for an opening inside the defense. And Russ will come out and retrieve this ball. Now Holt. Into Bertram. And Bertram trying to look for Brokaw. Couldn't quite connect with that. As Johnson collides there against Russ. Turney beating Brethren out for the ball. Pursuit into Holt. Storr getting the ball taken away there by Peters, and Peters now taking some space, sending the ball quickly upfield intended for De Diego, but Pursuit will retrieve that one. And now Rogers with a lot of time, a lot of room, get the ball into Bertram. And now a foot race here as Hargett comes out and retrieves that ball. That was a number 11 Storr trying to make a cut in between the defense, trying to get there just in time, but Hargett comes out and meets her. Now Hargett will boot it away. Ball will fall to Rogers. Rogers taking a bit of a heavy touch. Holt. Bertram. Intended for Brokaw. Smith intercepts. As Brokaw gets it right back. Now Holt. Now Pursuit. Finding Russ, and it goes back to Turney. Now ball in midfield with Storr. Uhas takes it away. Turning away from pressure. Gets it back to Johnson. And Johnson sending it up to Brethren. Turney trying to boot it away. Misses. But Russ is there just in time to take away some pressure. And bit of miscommunication there between teammates as luck seemed to be on the Cougar side. As the ball will fall to Smith. That was a big scoring opportunity there for the Yellow Jackets. Is now Bertram sending a through ball looking for Brokaw, and it was a little too much power behind that pass as Hargett will hold on to it. And Hargett will boot it away for De Diego. De Diego trying to bring it down with Rogers on her back. Leaving it for Uhas. Now back to De Diego against Rogers. Looking for Evans. Evans, cheeky little nutmeg against Holt, but can't quite maintain possession as the Yellow Jackets go back the other way. Now Storr. Finding Brokaw, back to Storr. Getting pressured there by Peters. Sending it upfield there for Bertram as the ball goes a little high off the bounce, and Hargett will maintain. Rolls it out to Smith. Smith for De Diego. De Diego turning against Rogers into Sim. Sim, two defenders on her back. Over Smith. Now Sim. Back to Smith. Getting pressured quickly there by Bertram. Ball deflected over to Sim. Sim gets stopped by Stubblefield. Holt. Now Bertram. Peters kicks it away. Stubblefield getting away from De Diego. Gets it back to Rogers. As the ball gets passed around in midfield. Evans trying to take space, gets stopped there by Russ, and Uhas trying to make a great effort there to stop any initial motion as the ball in Yellow Jacket territory now. Pursuit heads it away, controlled there by Hafes. Now to Russ. Russ, pass intended there for Storr. Lindstrom will hold on. Now Stubblefield taking some space in midfield. Holtz, number 15, getting over to Rogers. Rogers getting pressured quickly by De Diego. Now Isabel Evans, great turn there to get away from pressure there by Brokaw. As Johnson will try to take a touch, go out of bounds. That is Elena Barrett entering the game for the Cougars, giving Erica Lindstrom a bit of a breather. For Randolph-Macon, substitutions being made. Number 7, Ariel Farmer entering the game now for number 21, Laura Bertram. Number 13, Natalie Moxie entering the game for number 11, Storr. And number 18, Ali Spangler entering the game for number 23, Brokaw. As we are taking one moment here to check the weather around us. As you know, we have had a couple incidents with weather as Friday's game was postponed. And we'll be back in just a short moment.
Averett University provides all you need for your future through learning that embraces all of your infinite potential. With flexible online and on-campus programs, affordable tuition, and over 50 majors and programs. Visit allaverett.com. Are you all in?
See it. As we are back after that short delay. I apologize for that, folks. As we were back after that short delay, as the Cougars threw it in momentarily there, and the ball will now fall to number 13, Moxie. We pass around between both teams. As Rogers will kick it away from pressure. Russ intended for number 7. As Hargett makes a great save there. And Smith will hit the deck. That's a great shot there by Farmer. Number 7, but Hargett with ice in her veins, holding on strong. And Hargett will send this one up to Evans. Now Diego trying to get around Rogers. To Evans. Evans in for Sanchez. Now Peters in a foot race against number 18, Spangler. Ball will fall to Barrett. Now Russ with a lot of time, a lot of space. Takes a shot into the left corner, and Hargett couldn't quite get there in time, and Russ will have another one under her name for this matchup, bringing us to 3-0 in this first half, 15:50 left. Yeah, substitutions will be made, and Russ will take a seat after putting the Yellow Jackets up 3, especially after scoring that first one early on, starting us off. Number 4 in for Russ, that is Madison Blanchard, and number 25, Gracie Nicely, sorry. And a foul in midfield as Peters kicks it quickly there for Evans, and Evans couldn't quite hold on to it. Falls to Uhas. And now Farmer. The ball pinged around. Now Sim. Trying to look for Diego. Couldn't quite connect. Hafes. Farmer. A bit of 1-2 play as Farmer is on a breakaway. Farmer 1-on-1 against Hargett. Hargett wins that one. Hargett great in 1-on-1 situations so far as she comes out, make herself very big, not allowing Farmer to get any more space. And she gets a save on the day. And Hargett will boot it away. Now Sanchez will come to retrieve this ball. Farmer pressuring quickly. Turney on Evans. Forces her to make a mistake. Gets the ball out of bounds in favor of the Yellow Jackets. And now Stubblefield. Sending one across. Johnson will let this one roll out of bounds. And it'll be a throw-in for the Cougars on the opposite sideline. corner kick here for the Yellow Jackets. As that is number 18 taking it for the Yellow Jackets, Spangler. Going to try to send one into the box, trying to make this 4. As the ball trickles up and out of bounds, it'll be another corner kick. And Spangler sending it upfield. Now Brethren coming to retrieve it. Moxie trying to put some pressure on Brethren, and she will kick it upfield. That is number 25. Nicely recovering that ball. And Hafes gets a shove in the back there at about midfield, and she will draw a foul. And Pursuit send it over to Nicely. Nicely, ball deflected there. Johnson trying to maintain possession, and she will take that one out of bounds. Nicely will retrieve this ball for a throw-in. Comes a Farmer trying to get away from Sim. Leaving it there for Spangler. Now Farmer taking a shot, deflected off Smith. Now for Holt. And Holt will try to get a touch on it, but it will fall to Hargett. Hargett to Sanchez. Sanchez back to Smith. And Smith getting pressured quickly there by Spangler. Spangler with a lot of time, a lot of room. Takes a shot, and Hargett dives quickly, making the save. And Hargett will kick it away, looking for Diego. And now Blanchard gets it over to Farmer. Now Spangler gets stopped there by Peters. And now Haves maintains possession around Barrett. And she will draw the foul at about the 38-yard line. And Pursuit over to Moxie. Moxie trying to get it over to Spangler. Bit of collision there between Brethren and the Yellow Jackets. Number 25, nicely. Peters doing a very good job to get the ball away from Spangler, as Nicely comes back trying to take it right back into her possession. And Johnson will boot this one away from pressure. 9:06 left in this first half as we have a substitution here for the Yellow Jackets. Number 30 entering the game, Talia Utuk. Now Pursuit. Sanchez boots it away. Turney going to throw this one in. Quickly into Farmer. Farmer with pressure from Sanchez. Number 7 against number 8 as Farmer will let this one go out of bounds, and Turney will have another throw in closer to the corner as Evans will kick it right back out of bounds. Now Turney into Moxie, and Moxie will send it up into the box, and Hargett will catch this one with ease. Rolls it quickly to Uhas. Uhas turning, looking for an opening, finds Johnson on the wing. Looking for Brethren, but it gets it taken away there by Nicely with some help from Blanchard. As Pursuit trying to look for a player to downfield, gets deflected, but it will fall to Stubblefield. And now Turney sending it up and away, looking for Spangler. Utuck coming back out and retrieving this ball, but Barrett just boots it away. Now will come to Stubblefield. Turney sending up into the box. Spangler getting her head behind that one. And Hargett will retrieve this one. Boots it away. Again, looking for De Diego, and the ball will fall right into the feet of De Diego against Stubblefield. Now to Brethren. Brethren taking a touch. Leaves it for De Diego. De Diego one-on-one in the box. Very dangerous territory for De Diego as she tries to send one up and gets stopped immediately. Now Moxie against Barrett. Turns. Gets it off the Farmer. Looking for Spangler. Peters kicks it away. Blanchard trying to hold on. The Spangler turns. Moxie, number 13, looking for Farmer, number 7. Farmer against Sanchez, and Sanchez will be turned, and Farmer sending one across into the box, looking for Spangler, and it'll roll wide. Got to bounce. It'll be a goal kick for the Cougars. 6 minutes left in this first half. Now Hargett looking for a wide open player, but Sim will come back and retrieve it away from Blanchard. Peters to Johnson. Johnson taking some space. Blanchard pressuring quickly, and Johnson will lose the ball on the wing. Now Pursuit will send it into midfield. Now Turney will get the ball there by Stubblefield. Utuck. Now Farmer with foot race against Smith. Turns back, trying to leave it there for Blanchard. And Spangler will somehow find the ball at her feet, and she is caught offsides. A bit of a sigh of relief from the Cougars. And Hargett will kick this one away. Now Moxie. Blanchard kicking it upfield. Hargett will come out and retrieve this ball, picking it up. Sending it away to Diego. And Stubblefield will take this one out. Now ball in the backfield. Sanchez. And Farmer will have one. Sending it into the bottom left corner. Farmer working very hard today so far, coming off of the substitution there for Bertram. and she will get her first one of the day, making it 4-0 with only 3:34 left. And the Cougars are going to have to work very hard to try to come back from any type of deficit they're in. As a foul there was called on the heavy pressure there by De Diego and Uhas. Attorney number 19 with the ball. Gets it into Moxie. Moxie into Farmer. Now Blanchard in for Spangler. Spangler one-on-one, and Spangler will get that one, making it 5-0. Making it 5-0 for the Yellow Jackets. It's Spangler not too long after Farmer, number 7, scored her first. And the Yellow Jackets are completely running away with this one against the Cougars at home. And Uhas now gets the kickoff, gets the ball off the kickoff from De Diego. Smith into Sanchez. Now Peters. Hargett looking for Sanchez. Sanchez brings it right back down to De Diego. De Diego playing more of like a 10 position. Moxie takes it away. Maintains possession of the ball. Sending it across field there. 50-50 ball for Blanchard. Barrett gets a touch on it. Moxie shielding the ball away from Uhas. Turns. Gets it right back to Turney. Now Moxie into Farmer. Sanchez trying to kick it up and away, but it'll maintain in possession of Randolph-Macon. As the ball gets taken away by De Diego, Blanchard couldn't quite hold on. Now Sim. Now Johnson moving upfield, taking space. Looking for Brethren, and nicely will hold on to this one. To pursuit now Turney for Farmer, and Sanchez getting a touch on that as De Diego against Turney in a bit of a foot race. Turney gets it successfully over to Farmer. Now Spangler into Moxie. As a bit of a collision there between De Diego, Moxie, and Hargett will hold on to the ball as we are left with only a minute left in this first half. Hargett will take her time, scan the field. And the ball fall now to Nicely, the left back, who is just now joining the matchup momentarily. Now Haves, haven't seen a lot after the third goal from Haves, but maintains possession, holding on strong. Now Stubblefield. Now Utuk turning away from Evans, getting into Farmer. Now Blanchard taking a shot, and it'll go just above the bar from way far out. And the clock will run out, and we will be going to the second half as the Cougars are down 5-0 against the visiting Yellow Jackets. And we will be back in just a short moment.
Sova Health has the heart care you need to stay healthy. As a Duke Health affiliate in heart care, they are backed by the latest Duke guidelines and research, providing our community with enhanced quality health care. Whether it's cardiac screening or emergency heart care at their accredited chest pain center, they provide quality treatment close to home. Sova Health, heart care to live your healthiest life. Visit online at sovahealth.com/heart.
And we are back on the Averett Sports Network here for the matchup between your very own Averett women's soccer team and the visiting Randolph-Macon Yellow Jackets, as the Yellow Jackets have taken quite a big lead deficit here, 5-0 in the first half. Goals coming from Riley Russ, Abigail Farmer, Spangler, and Bertram in the first half, as we are back underway here. A couple new faces here between both teams, as now Farmer, number 7, gets the ball taken away there by Lindstrom, but it'll come back there to Brokaw. And now that'll be Storr, number 11, chasing down Johnson, as Johnson will kick this one out of bounds. And now Grace Turney, number 19 in black, throwing it in there to Farmer. Brokaw trying to get around Johnson. Johnson forcing her to make a mistake, and it will go out of bounds again. Another throw in. Thrown back into Farmer. And taken away there by Lindstrom. Lindstrom holding on, trying to get away from Storr. Farmer will hold on to it again. She will try to take a shot, but she's a bit off balance, and it'll just roll into the hands of Hargett. And now Poole, newly entered into the game at number 9 there, number 18, sorry. Now Diego will get this ball here and leave it for Johnson. It'll go out of bounds. Johnson will throw it in. Checking in is Uhas. Sim decides to go for Diego. Diego heads it over to the head of number 17, Lovinger. And now Lovinger will send it up to Russ, as Russ will get it in between the legs of Johnson, finding Farmer, and Farmer will be called offsides, as Peters will now play it quickly there to Johnson. To Sim. Sim will take some space. Ball intended for Poole, as Pursuit shields and lets the ball roll out of bounds, and it will be a goal kick for Long. Zoe Long, number 00 in net for Randolph-Macon. Not a lot of challenges here today. Just a couple shots coming from Diego, as her pass into midfield gets headed away there by Lindstrom. Now Turney against Poole, and Poole will have a bit too much pressure, and Turney will hit the deck, as Turney will now play quickly there. Pursuit. Pings it into midfield. Sim. Uhas getting away from pressure. Rolling it into Smith. Farmer taking that ball away. Now Storr back to Farmer. Now to Russ. Now Russ to Storr. And Brethren beating out number 11 Storr for that ball. Kicking out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in. Number 8 on the far side, Kelly Rogers, going to throw it in for Randolph-Macon. Into Brokaw. Now to Storr. Storr sending it over to Russ. Russ bringing it down against Johnson. Off the deflection of Johnson, it'll go out of bounds. It'll be a corner kick now for the Yellow Jackets. Lovinger going to set this one up. as Lovinger gets it into the box, but no one home. Ball gets passed around. Rogers trying to retrieve this ball, and she will try to kick it upfield away from De Diego, but it'll go out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Cougars as Parks will now throw it in. Now Smith gets it taken away there by Brokaw. Off the post there by Farmer. A bit of sigh of relief. Johnson kicks it away to Poole. Poole to Sim. Turney getting a touch on it. It'll go out of bounds. De Diego against two players, Pursuit and Russ. As the ball now come to Rogers. Now Storr. In for Brokaw. And Brokaw trying to get around Smith. Leaves it for Storr. Storr taking a touch. Sim taking it away. Now Brethren boots it upfield. Now to Keenan, a brand new face for the Yellow Jackets. Russ to Holt, and the ball will be kicked out of bounds. There will be another throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. Now Keenan will retrieve this ball, sending it over to Pursuit. Pursuit scans, not a lot of pressure on her. Gets it over to Turney. Turney now Holt getting the ball over to Rogers. Now Storr against Lindstrom. Gets around Lindstrom. Gets it up into the box. And off the head of Brokaw goes wide. Now Hargett kicking it, driven down. It'll fall back to Holt. Uhas coming to retrieve it. Gets it to De Diego. De Diego, bit of miscommunication there. As Holt now tries to hold on to this ball, and De Diego will be called for a foul on Holt. Now Storr trying to get around Lindstrom. Holt. Brokaw trying to roll it in there for Storr. And Storr inside the box. Gets a shot in between Smith. But it'll roll out to Hargett. And now Hargett booting it up and away. That is Lovinger getting over to Pursuit. And now Keenan into Holt. Back to Rogers. A lot of defensive play here. Very possessive this half. Now Pursuit getting over to Turney. Turney being eyed down there by Poole. Getting the ball in to Holt. Leaving it for Rogers. And Rogers taking some space against De Diego. Brethren getting a touch. Rogers holding on. Sim taking that ball away. Stopping any initial motion going forward. Now Brethren turns against Farmer. Trying to get it back to Parks. And Parks heavy pressure against Brokaw. Brokaw winning that one. Back to Holt. Into Farmer. Farmer into Store, and Peters boots it away. And now the ball finds its way back to Russ as it gets taken away there by Sim. It'll be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets, and Turney will throw it into touch. There to Store. Now Lovinger. Back to Keenan. Rogers. Keenan now to Turney. Finding an opening as Turney, not exactly communicating with her attack. And Hargett will retrieve this one in their own box. Sends this one upfield for De Diego. Rogers keeps it away from De Diego. Now Holt. Parks gets a touch. There to Lindstrom. Now Smith. Back to Hargett. Over to Johnson. Johnson taking a touch. Russ getting a foot on that. And Smith luckily retrieves it, stopping Farmer from getting there just in time. And Uhas trying to send Brethren on a run or go out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. Brokaw looking for Store. Store taking a heavy touch as Peters controls it, gets it over to Lindstrom, and Lindstrom trying to look for De Diego, and Keenan intercepts that ball. Lindstrom getting a deflection off of that. Ball in the air, brought down there by Store. Store trying to get around Brethren. To Holt. And now Pursuit. To Turney. Turney sends it right back over to Pursuit. Pursuit now to Brokaw. Brokaw to Farmer. Now Brokaw against Sim, sending it across the box, and Smith heads it down to Johnson. Johnson will hit it away. And now De Diego against Rogers. Rogers gets it back to Keenan, now to Pursuit. Into Russ, and Russ will flip away from Sim. Now Rogers scanning, finds Holt. Brethren takes it away from Holt. Now Farmer getting the throw in there from Rogers. Over to Store. Store turning away from Lindstrom. Store with a bit of space. Decides to take that low-driven shot, and it is kicked out of bounds there by Peters. It will be a corner kick for Randolph-Macon on the far left side. And number 17 in black, Lovinger, will take this one out. Trying to put the Yellow Jackets up 6. Now as this one goes up into the air and out of bounds over the bar. And it'll be a goal kick for Tiffany Hargett, number 00, in net for the Cougars. Hits it out quickly to Peters. Now to Uhas. Uhas taking space. Trying to get around Lovinger. Gets it over to Poole. And now Uhas in a foot race. Pursuit trying to stop her. And Pursuit will get there just in time as the ball gets deflected off of the foot of Uhas. And now Lovinger trying to get it away from Poole. And Poole will chase that one down. It'll be a goal kick for Zoe Long. As Long will put her hand up, sends it up into the air. Sim trying to head it away from her opponent. Brokaw gets taken away there by Sim. And Peters giving it back to Hargett, and Hargett will send it upfield, but it'll go wide. It'll be a throw-in for Turney, number 19, for Randolph-Macon. Look for an opening. Sends it right back over to Pursuit, number 12. And she will load up, send this over to Russ, and Russ will set up Farmer for a 50-50 ball against Hargett, and Hargett will get there just in time. Now Rogers sending the ball into Brokaw. Lovinger looking for an open player upfield intended for Storr, and Brokaw doing a very good job of not drawing a foul. Turney. Keenan. Over to Rogers, number 8. As Randolph-Macon has had most of the possession of this match, as Peters gets it taken away there by Russ, and Russ will hit the deck. And it would be a foul at about, it'll be a free kick at about the 40-yard line. There for Pursuit. Pursuit taking most of these on the day. And finding Rogers as Rogers sends it up into the box. Brethren kicks it up and away. Coming to Poole against Turney. Substitutions here for both teams. Moxie, number 13 in black, entering the game. Number 11, Storr, going to take a seat. Evans, number 13, entering the game for Brethren. Ball deflected out of bounds. There'll be another throw in for Randolph-Macon. Diego doing a very good job of getting that ball back away from Rogers as it is kicked back into possession of the Yellow Jackets, and that is Keenan, number 24, sending it right back into the box for Brokaw against Peters. Peters trying to hold on strong off of the touch of Brokaw. It'll be a throw-in again for Averett this time. And now Holt to Brokaw to Moxie. Moxie taking a shot off the deflection of Smith. Rayleigh Smith doing a very good job of stopping that shot in its tracks. And it'll be a corner kick for Randolph-Macon. Lovinger going out to take this one. Brokaw leaves it for Lovinger. And Brokaw trying to send it up. Gets deflected off of Uhas. And a shot there from Russ. Number 10. It'll go out of bounds. Target going to take this one. Sends it over to Uhas. Now Lindstrom Getting pressure there by Moxie. Get it over to Johnson on the wing. Sim, intended for Poole. Turney against Poole. Poole in a foot race. Gets around Turney. Trying to look for a player. Across, turns around. Gets it into De Diego. De Diego trying to get a touch in against Keenan. De Diego turns just in time. Draws the foul against Keenan. And will decide to take this quickly. And Long will retrieve that one quickly. Holding on to it. Send this ball upfield in possession of Johnson. Moxie trying to hold on to that one. And Johnson's header will go out of bounds. It'll be another throw in for the Yellow Jackets and a couple more substitutions here. So Bertram and Spangler entering the game for Brokaw and Farmer. And then we have Mackenzie Overly entering the game for Taylor Parks, number 11. As Smith gets it over to Overly. Overly taking her time, sending it upfield. Now Moxie to Holt. Holt will send this into the box. Smith will head it away. Now Hargett will hold on to this ball as long as she can. 23 minutes left in this matchup. Still 5-0 in favor of the Yellow Jackets. As the ball will go up in the air, Lovinger holds onto it. Lovinger over to Pursuit. Now to Keenan. Now Rogers having to chase that one down. She won't reach it in time. It'll be a throw-in. As Evans will throw it in quickly, looking for De Diego, trying to get it back into Evans. Lovinger will maintain possession of that one. Moxie will try to chase this one before it goes out of bounds, and it will go out of bounds, but off the touch of Moxie. De Diego gets a throw in there from Evans, holding on with two defenders on her back. That is Storr. And De Diego's on a fast break here against Keenan. Getting into Poole. And Russ is there just in time. Now Holt. Taking a lot of space. Evans trying to track her down. Into number 21. That is Bertram. And now Evans. Gets over to Diego against Keenan. And Keenan will take a step. And Diego will hit the deck off of a challenge there by Keenan. The ball will go out of bounds. Overly will throw it in. Evans. Overly. Moxie will find the ball in midfield. Sending a through ball into Spangler. Spangler, one-on-one, sends it wide into the bottom right corner, making it 6-0. Allie Spangler, number 18 in black. The junior forward from Daleville, Virginia. Couple substitutions here from both sides as Gianna Minifo will enter the game here for De Diego, as well as Elena Barrett entering the game. As Bertram trying to hold on to that ball there. Johnson sending it upfield. Nicely, number 25 in the game for Turney. Spangler. That's number 5 on the right side, Brody Russ. A couple more substitutions here for Randolph-Macon. As Holt will take a seat. Utak entering the game. And Holt's going ahead and taking a seat as well. As the ball gets pinged around there, Keenan trying to get away from De Diego. De Diego holding on to this ball, getting into Evans. And gets it taken away there by number 5, Russ. Now Peters sending this one up into the box. De Diego trying to chase after it. And Long will come out and hold on to this one. Pursuit doing a very good job of shielding De Diego from getting anywhere near that ball. As Long will send this one away. And Moxie will bring this one down with the help of Spangler. Into Moxie. Back to Spangler. Spangler will hold on. Bertram couldn't quite find that one as Overly sends it upfield. Now Russ from way deep will try to catch Hargett off her line. .18:30 left in this matchup here as Hargett will throw this one out to Johnson. And now Johnson will try to get around Spangler. Bertram will come and retrieve this ball. Get around Lindstrom. Bertram is loose in the midfield. Getting around Smith. Against Peters. Now Spangler gets the ball. Gets around Johnson, and she will draw the offsides flag. Nicely. Over to Brody Russ, number 5. Now Pursuit, number 12. Into nicely. Ball intended there for Spangler. Sim taking it away. Now Barrett going to take some space. Now to Evans. Pursuit. Barrett trying to head it right back. Now Lindstrom trying to get away from Moxie. Over to Johnson. Johnson to Sim. Now to Barrett. Over to Overly. Into Minifo. Minifo holding on. Trying to get away from Nicely and Utuk. And that is Bertram getting the ball taken away there by Evans, and Evans gets it back to Overly. Now Evans holding on strong, shielding the ball away. Overly sending it across there to Hargett, and Hargett will hold on to this one calmly. Peters to Johnson, and Johnson getting some pressure there. Minifo coming back and retrieving this ball. Leaves it off for Johnson. Back to Minifo. Minifo against Nicely. Nicely will get it back to Pursuit just in time. And now Long will get it over to Russ. Overly going back and retrieving this ball. We'll send it out. Substitution here as number 10 Russ will take a seat, take a breather. And bringing in number 22, Morgan Mr. Hazy. And the ball will go out of bounds on the far side. It'll be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets as Uhas checks back in there. Ball thrown in, Overly trying to send it away. Peters will eventually do the same. Ball falls to Minifo. Minifo to De Diego. De Diego with some help there from Minifo. Gets it over to Minifo. Minifo now in the box, getting pressured there by nicely. Getting it back to Evans. Evans holding on strong against Utuk. Now Moxley going back the other way off of the mistake there by the Cougars. Now Mr. Hazy trying to get around Johnson. Sending it into the box. Great scoring position there for Bertram. Just couldn't quite reach it, and it'll be a throw in there for the Cougars. And Overly will throw it in. Overly looking for an open player. Finds Uhas on the check-in. Moxley hits it out, and Overly will throw it right back in. Kept inbounds. Utuk finding space of her own, sending it across. Sim will send it up and away, and it'll be a throw-in here as Pursuit and Keenan will go ahead and take a seat here. Bringing in number 9 in for Pursuit, Emma Hook. And number 1 in, Anna Turk for Randolph-Macon on the far side, giving Keenan a bit of a break. Sanchez in the game now, giving Johnson a breather. Moxie getting that one away from Sanchez. Now Levenger to Russ. Russ sending it upfield. Uhas controlling it at midfield. Overly now trying to get her to Minifo. And it gets taken away. Uhas, heavy pressure there by Utuk. And Utuk trying to get around Overly. Moxie takes a step away from Uhas. And the ball will be in the box and kicked away by Peters. Now Barrett rolls it out to Evans. Evans looking for De Diego. De Diego with 3 defenders by herself. De Diego will take that shot, looking for that far pipe, and it'll go out of bounds. This will be a goal kick for Long. She hasn't seen a lot of challenge today. As Long will send this one over to Moxie, number 13, leaving it off for Turk. Now Utuk, back to Turk on the wing. Turk cutting back inside, getting the ball out to Spangler. Turk trying to get around Overly, sending one across the box into Bertram. Bertram getting this one away from Smith and trying to chase this one down is Bertram. But she will take it out of bounds. It'll go out. And it'll be a goal kick 10:25 left on this clock here. Still 6-0, as the Cougars have yet to get over that hump of getting one into the net of the Yellow Jackets. And Hargett will send this one into midfield to Sim, and Sim will get a lot of pressure there by Messerezi, as the ball will fall to 50-50. Overly kicks it away. De Diego trying to get around nicely. Sending it up and into the Yellow Jacket box, and it will roll out of bounds. That will be a goal kick for Long. Zoe Long, 0-0, only allowing 2 goals in 4 games played. Having a pretty good score sheet so far. Now Overly trying to chase this one down, not allowing Utuk to get any type of touch on that one. Ball will go up into the air. Moxie will bring this one down. Utuk turning away from Evans. Gets it over to Turk. Now Russ. Lovinger. Over to Bertram. Spangler. Uhas. Mr. Hazy trying to chase that one down. Can't quite get there in time. And substitutions now. Spangler going to take a seat. Turney going upfield, as well as number 8, Kelly Rogers. Bit of a position change, as number 19 and 8 both play defensive positions, but right now they are in striking positions. Bertram and Spangler both taking seats. And Pedraza in the game for the Cougars. Now Turk getting over to Russ. Now Long. Pedraza trying to take that away from Turk. Overly booting it away. Turk bring this down for Moxie. Turk heading it right back to Moxie. Overly, big collision. Minifo holding on. Moxie hits the deck. Minifo will hold on to the possession. It'll be a throw for the Cougars. Pedraza getting back to Overly. Overly can't quite control it. Turney will pressure quickly on Hargett. And Hargett will just boot it out, and it will be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. Be a free kick here outside the 18-yard box. Going to be a setup. Couple Yellow Jacket players lining up to line this one up. Rogers, Mr. Az, and Lovinger. Lovinger will send this one. Hargett. Rogers coming in to retrieve this one. It'll go off of a collision there. And Rogers very close to getting a full touch on that ball. And she will collide there in the box. Very scary spot to collide in. And it'll be a corner kick for Lovinger. 5:40 left on this clock here for the second half of this matchup. And Lovinger will send this one up into the air. Rogers can't quite get ahead behind it. Moxie getting around Pedraza. A shot there from number 9, Hook, as it skies right over the bar. Now Sanchez to Uhas. Sim on this close side wing. De Diego. Sanchez gets taken away by Russ. And Russ will not manage to keep it in bounds, and it'll go out. Be a throw in for the Cougars. Sanchez will send this one back into play. And ball intended for Minifo. De Diego come back to retrieve it nicely against De Diego. Now Lovinger will kick it out of bounds. Ball thrown into Sanchez into the box. Headed away there by Turk. Recovered here by Overly. Overly will take a shot, challenging Long. Overly trying to see if Long was aware of the shot taken from way far out, as Long will now send it upfield. Moxie, great touch there, getting around Uhas. Now to Rogers. Rogers for Utuk. Getting away from Pedraza. Pedraza not falling for any type of moves. And ball intended for Moxie will fall to Barrett. Getting pressure there by Lovinger. And Lovinger will get it away from Barrett. Now Rogers getting a bit of a chance. Peters kicking it up. Overly sending it out. Hook. Intended for Turk. It'll go out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in. As the ball will be thrown back into play by De Diego. For Pedraza, left for De Diego. De Diego cutting in between multiple defenders by herself, trying to fight for possession. It'll go out of bounds. Thrown in there by Pedraza for Minifo. And a foul will be called in favor of the Yellow Jackets. Down Mesterazi. As she will need to take a spot on the bench to get reviewed anytime the official calls for an injury timeout. Awaiting official rule here. An indirect kick is what is given for the Cougars. As that is Holtz, number 15, entering the game there for Mesterazi. A drop kick, sorry. Seems that we have been switching around. De Diego taking this shot, and it will go over the bar. Long will take this goal kick here. getting this back underway. Only a minute 40 left, still 6-0. As Long will send this one deep, intended for Turney. Sanchez will get a head behind it. Rogers will come and collect it, leaving it for Moxie. Turney will hold on to his ball against Smith. Nicely trying to send it into Rogers. Peters intercepts it, sends it off to Uhas. Lovinger getting away from Uhas in the midfield. Now going back the other way. Ball intended for Rogers, and Peters will kick it out of bounds. Less than a minute remaining. And Turks, number 1, will throw it back into play. Ball into the box. Sim against Moxie, and Moxie will hold on to it. Sim to Uhas. Uhas getting to De Diego. Now nicely against De Diego. .15 seconds left on this clock. Over to Holt. Sanchez deflecting it. De Diego coming back and retrieving it as the clock begins to wind down. And that is the final whistle here at Daly Field, Frank R. Campbell Stadium, as the Cougars fall to the visiting Yellow Jackets of Randolph-Macon 6-0 after a very tough matchup on the day. We will be back another day on the Averett Sports Network. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Luis Martinez, and to all, a good afternoon.
Sova Health has the heart care you need to stay healthy. As a Duke Health affiliate in heart care, they are backed by the latest Duke guidelines and research, providing our community with enhanced quality health care. Whether it's cardiac screening or emergency heart care at their accredited chest pain center, they provide quality treatment close to home. Sova Health, heart care to live your healthiest life. Visit online at sovahealth.com/heart.